In this video, I explain the properties of hydraulic oil, or this topic is also known as the physical characteristic of hydraulic oils. So first I explain mass density, compressibility, weight density, specific gravity, viscosity, dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity. So I explain on two easy way by giving the different examples so you can understand the different property easily and you clear your concept. So watch this video up to the end for clear understandings. Now first one is the mass density. Mass density is defined as the mass of liquid per unit volume. Okay, so this is the definitions and it is denoted by the rho. Now here we consider that is a one tank. Okay, that is a water tank at our homes. Okay, and each side of this tank is a 1 meter cube. Okay, so what is its volume? That is a 1 meter cubes. Now we fill the water in this tank, and how amount of the water is stored in this tank, it is depend on the mass density, or it is called the mass density. Okay, so here we consider that is a different thing. So first I written this equation. Mass density of liquid is the mass of liquid upon volume of liquid. Okay, now what is our tank? That is every side is 1 meter cube. 1 meter. Okay, so what is the volume of this tank? That is a 1 meter cube. So we know the volume of this tank or a volume of this liquid, that is a 1 meter cubes. Okay, we fill this water, then how amount of the water is stored in this tank? That is the 1000 liters or a 1000 kg. Okay, so it is called as the mass density. Now here I give you different examples. Before that example, we know the units. The unit of mass density in SI system is kg per meter cube, because the unit of mass is the kg and the volume is measured in a meter cube. Okay, because in a volume, that is a three side is considered, every side has meter, so it is the meter cube. Mass density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube at 4 degrees centigrade. Okay, you already know that is the mass density of the water is 1000, but at the particular temperature it is not the same at all the temperatures. Okay, so this 1000 kg per meter cube at only 4 degree temperature is reduced below the 4 or increase above the 4, the density of the water is changed, but we are generally considered that the density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Now what this 1000 kg of meter cube is indicate? Depending on the tank size. Okay, that is every side is 1 meter cube, then we are able to store 1000 kg of water, and the size tank is changed. For instance of the 1 meter cube, that is a 2 meter cube. Okay, then we are able to store the 2000 kg of water. Now mass density of air, here water is written, that is the mass density of the air is 1.21 kg per meter cube at standard temperature and pressure. Okay, means only in this 1 meter cube of the tank we are only able to store 1.21 kg of air. Okay, then I give another examples. Mass density of mercury, okay, not water, mass density of the mercury is 13,600 kg per meter cube at standard temperature and pressure. Means in this 1 meter cube of the tank, if we fill the mercury, then the weight of the mercury in this tank is the 13,600 kg per meter cubes. Okay, so what you understand from this different value, we know that is a dense material. Which are the dense materials? Okay, so here we compare the water and air. Okay, so water are more denser than the air, and we compare the water and mercury, so mercury are more denser. Okay, because we are able to fill the more mass of the substance in 1 meter cubes. Now here you see that is a different value of this different type of the oils. Okay, because we are studying for the properties of hydraulic oils, so at least we know the some density of the oil. Here you see there is a different type of the crude oil is given at the particular temperature. Okay, if the temperature is changed, then the density is also changed. So temperature is the main phenomena to be considered here. So here you see this density. Okay, similar way, when you go to fill the petrols in your vehicles, at that time you also check the density of the petrol. They are on a petrol pump, the one display is given for the density. Okay, so density is different depending on this temperatures and the different parameters. Next is the weight density. Now what is the weight density? Weight density is also known as the specific weight, and it is defined as the weight of the liquid per unit volume. Means this mass is replaced by the weight, then it is known as the weight density. and it is denoted by a mu, sorry not a mu, by a small w or a omega. So weight density of liquid is written in a equation form, then it is the weight of liquid divided by volume of liquid. Now what is the equation of the weight? Weight is equal to mass into gravitational force. Okay, now suppose we related the mass density and weight density. Okay, so how we written that? Weight density is equal to mass density into gravitational force, because here you see the numerator is same, that is the volume of liquid. Okay, and this mass is replaced by the weight. So instance of weight we written that is a mass into gravitational force, and mass upon volume is equal to mass density. Okay, so we are able to write this equation. Weight density is equal to mass, sorry not mass, it is the mass density into gravitational force. So this is the equation for a weight density, or a relation between mass density and the weight density. And unit in the SI system is Newton per meter cubes. Now what is the weight density of the water? So here you see that is the mass density is the 1000. Okay, so only you understand this equation, that is a mass density into gravitational force. So we know the mass density of the water, that is 1000. Now multiplied with the G, value of the G is 9.81. G means gravitational force. So it is a 9810 Newton per meter cube. Now before moving ahead, I request to like the video and subscribe my channels for watching the more video related to the oil, hydraulics, pneumatics and another subject of the mechanical engineering. Now next is the specific gravity. What is the specific gravity? Specific gravity is also known as the relative density. Okay, so when the relative word is come, so density is compared with some another type of the density, it is called as the relative. Okay, now the specific gravity or a relative density of the liquid is defined as the ratio of density of that liquid. Means for the any oils we need to find out. Okay, so we need to know the density of this particular oil or a liquid. Okay, and this particular density of the liquid is divided by the density of water. Okay, so we know that term is the relative density. So we compare this particular liquid density with the density of the water, and it is denoted by as the S. It is the ratio, and hence it has the no unit. Why it's no unit? Because the equation of the specific gravity of the liquid is the mass density of the liquid divided by mass density of water. So unit of both mass density are same, so specific gravity and relative density are the unitless. Okay, instance of the mass density we are also able to consider the weight density. Okay, so in upper terms, that is the mass density of the particular liquid is that, and mass density of the water. So you know the mass density of the water is 1000. Okay, so suppose we find the specific gravity of the water, it is 1, because here in a numerator that is the mass density of water divided by mass density of water, so it's give the 1. Now we find out the specific gravity of the mercury. Okay, so what is the mass density of the mercury? That is a 13,600 divided by mass density of the water, that is a 1000. So what we get answer, that is a 13.6. Okay, so these parameters are required in examples, because in examples they give the specific gravity and you need to find out the mass density of the particular liquid. Okay, then you also able to find out by using these parameters. Next is the compressibility. So from the word you know what is the compressibility. When we compress some fluid means any liquid or a gas, its the pressure is increased and the volume is reduced. Okay, that is called as the compressibility. So it is the ability of the fluid to get compressed. Now what is meaning of fluid? Liquid or a gas, it is called as the fluids. Gases are more compressible and the liquid are less compressible. Means in a gas, that is molecular spaces between the two molecules are the larger, so we can easily compress the gas. In a liquid the molecules are near, so it is a less compressible. Now, compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. Means compressibility is equal to 1 upon bulk modulus. So first we understand what is the bulk modulus and then move towards the compressibility. So bulk modulus is defined as the ratio of change in pressure to volumetric strain. Okay, so change in pressure is generally denoted as the dP and the change in the volume is denoted as the dV. What is the strain? Strain is equal to change in the volume divided by original volume. Now let's we understand in the detail. Now what is the definition of compressibility? compressibility is defined as the ratio of volumetric strain to the change in pressure. Here we written compressibility is the one reciprocal of bulk modulus. When it is the reciprocal of bulk modulus, so first the volumetric strain to the change in the pressure is written. Now in SI unit, bulk modulus unit is the Newton per meter square, and SI unit of compressibility is meter square per newtons. Okay, so it is also a 1 upon reciprocal unit, so it is change. Now consider a piston cylinder arrangement as shown in this figure. Okay, so here in this figure you see this is a piston cylinder arrangement. Let us P1 be the initial pressure and V1 be the initial volume of the fluid before compression. So this is the image A, in which it is the before compression process pressure and volume. Okay, so that is pressure is P1, volume is V1. After that we compress these fluids by applying some force on the piston, and the pressure and volume is changed, and the pressure is changed from P1 to P2, volume is changed from the V1 to V2. Okay, now consider the force F is applied on the piston that I already explained, and after the compression stop we get the pressure is P2 and volume is the V2. Now what is the change in pressure? Change in pressure is written as the dP. Okay, now this P2 is higher than the P1 because after the compression the pressure is increased, so it is the P2 minus P1 is written. And change in volume, so after the compression the volume is reduced, so we return the V1 minus V2. So change in volume is the dV is equal to V1 minus V2. Now what is volumetric strains? Now here in this definition you check volumetric strain term is given. Okay, so volumetric strain means change in the volume divided by original volume. Okay, so what is change in volume? Because in initial volume is V1 and it is changed to V2. So what is the change? That is a V1 minus V2 is change. And what is the original volume? So original volume in this figure A, that is the V1. Okay, and this V1 minus V2 is written as the dV, and original volume is V1. So it is volumetric strain is written as the dV upon V1. Now this value is putting in the equation of bulk modulus and the compressibility. So first we putting value in this bulk modulus. Bulk modulus is denoted as the K. Change in pressure, so here written as dP. Volumetric strain, it is the dV upon V1 and its unit is Newton per meter square. Because the volumetric strain have no units, okay, both are volume, so it is the cancels. And the change in pressure have a unit, that is a Newton per meter square. Next one is the compressibility. Compressibility is the reciprocal of the bulk modulus, so it is denoted as the 1 upon K. So this parameter is slightly changed, it is written in reciprocal form. Unit is also changed, that is meter square upon newtons. Okay, so first we written 1 upon Newton per meter square, and meter square is going in the numerators. Okay, so it is written as meter square per Newton. Similarly this equation is changed. Now next is the viscosity. It is the most important phenomena for a fluid mechanics as well as for the hydraulics of the oil. Now viscosity is defined as the resistance offered by the liquid to flow. Okay, now just forgot this definition. First we understand from the solid body. Okay, when does we move the solid body? Okay, at that time what occurred? That is the friction is occurs. Okay, so you not hear the word frictions for when the liquid is flowing, okay, or a fluid is flowing. At that time we check the viscosity for a fluid. Okay, so similar way, when the fluid is flow, at that time some viscosity is offered, that is the resistance is offered by the liquid of a flow. Okay, it is called as the viscosity. That is a similar like as the frictions. In a solid body we consider frictions, and in a fluids we consider as the viscosity. So friction between the two layer of the fluid molecules. So when the water is flow, that is a certain layer of the water. Okay, so each layers are give resistance to the one others. Okay, so it is called as the viscosity. So we are not saying that the one or another layer of the fluid is offers the frictions to each other, but we say that the resistance is offered in the terms of viscosity. So this viscosity is generally depends on the two forces. One is the cohesive force and second one is the intermolecular momentum transfers. So I think you already know in a fluid mechanics all the terms in the details. So just we are going into the basic forms and the easy forms. Okay, some liquid can flow easily and some cannot. Okay, suppose we take the examples at our homes. Okay, that's you take the water and the honey. Water are easily flow. Okay, and the honey are not flow. So which have the higher viscosity? The water is flow easily, that means it have the lower viscosity. Honey have the higher viscosity because they are not easily flow. Okay, when you take the honey on the spoon, then they are not easily empty. But if you empty the spoon of water, then it's easily empty because the honey have the higher viscosity. Okay, so this is the basic examples to considering which fluid have the higher viscosity. It is the inherent property of a liquid, and this resistance to flow depend on some another physical property also, such like as the temperatures and pressure. We know that the temperature is increase of a certain oil, so its viscosity is reduced. In our bike we fill the oil, okay, so we replace this oil, engine oil, after some times because it's lost its viscosity and they are not able to give proper lubrications because these oil are heated inside the engines and its viscosity is reduced with the time. So due to these reasons we need to change this oil, engine oils at a certain times of intervals. Now then after the second term is come, that is the Newton's law of viscosity. So generally you study about the solid, that is you study the Hooke law, okay, for a solid body. When you study the machine design and another subject, you know what is the Hooke law. In a Hooke law, the shear stress is directly proportional to the shear strain. Means when you draw the graph on a XY axis, that is the stress and strain, at that time you get the one straight line at a 45 degree. That means both are same. If the shear stress have changed 5 units, then the strain is also changed 5 units. But this Hooke law are not able to apply to the fluid. Okay, so for the fluid we use the Newton's law of viscosity. Now it states that the shear stress on a layer of flowing liquid is directly proportional to the rate of shear strains. Means shear stress of layer of flowing liquid is directly proportional to rate of shear strain. Means it have some proportionality. Okay, suppose this change is the 1 unit, then what is the rate with the shear strain is changed, that is a 0.6 or a 1.5. okay, it is depend on the different type of the fluids. So here the rate word is used. In a Hooke law the rate word is not used, okay, because shear stress is directly proportional shear strain in a Hooke law. But in a Newton's law of viscosity we add the rate of shear strain. Okay, so Newton's law of viscosity states that shear stress is proportional to rate of shear strain. Okay, if you return the Hooke law, then you need to remove this rate of word. Okay, now shear stress is represented as the tau and the shear strain is written as the du upon dy. So by introducing proportionality constant mu in these relations, means when we change this directional proportional into equal word, at that time we need to add one constant parameters, and here we add the constant parameters, it is the mu, and this mu is equal to dynamic viscosity. Next we study dynamic viscosity. For that you need to remember these equations. Okay, now this directly proportional is replaced with the constant, that why we need to return the mu. So this is the equations of the Newton's law of viscosity. Shear stress is proportional to the rate of shear strain. Okay, now this mu is the dynamic viscosity. So from this Newton's law of viscosity you also able to return the definition of dynamic viscosity. So dynamic viscosity, mu is equal to rate of shear stress divided by rate of shear strains. Now let's see the definitions of dynamic viscosity. It is also called as the absolute viscosity. So in simple words, it is the proportionality constant in equation of Newton's law of viscosity. So first term is what? It is the proportionality constant in equations of Newton's law of viscosity. It is denoted by mu. The unit in SI system is Newton into second by meter square, or it is also written as Pascal into seconds. And the 1 Pascal into second, here 1 Pascal into second is equal to 1 Pascal into seconds, or a 1 kg divided by meter per seconds. This equation is required when we return the unit of kinematic viscosity. That's why I mentioned here. Okay, that is 1 Pascal into second is equal to 1 kg divided by meter into second. So it is defined as the shear stress per unit rate of shear strains. Okay, similarly from this equation of Newton law we written this definition, shear stress divided by rate of shear strain, it is called as the dynamic viscosity. So dynamic viscosity mu is equal to shear stress upon rate of shear strain. Shear strain is denoted as tau and rate of shear strain is the du upon dy. Okay. For a Newton law of viscosity, what we written, shear stress tau is directly proportional to du upon dy, not directly proportional but proportional. Next word is the kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is defined as the ratio of dynamic viscosity to the mass density. Now here you see that every definitions of the viscosity is depend on the viscosity. Okay, dynamic viscosity is depend on the Newton law of viscosity. So if you know the Newton law of viscosity, then you are easily able to written both the definition for dynamic viscosity as well as for the kinematic viscosity. Now this dynamic viscosity is divided by the mass density, then we say that it is the kinematic viscosity. So it is denoted by gamma. Its unit in SI system is meter square per second. So how this meter square per second is written, I explain you. Kinematic viscosity is dynamic viscosity divided by mass density. Okay, dynamic viscosity is written as the mu and mass density is denoted as the rho. Now what is the unit of dynamic viscosity? Okay, that is a Pascal into second, and Pascal into second is written as that kg divided by meter into second. Okay, so this is divided by mass density. Mass density is kg per meter cube. Okay, so kg per meter cube, this parameter is divided by kg per meter cube, then kg is cancel. Okay, meter cube going in the numerators. Okay, so meter cube divided by meter per second, so meter cancel, then it is the meter square per second. That's how this unit is written. So thank you for watching this video. If you learned and like the video, subscribe the channels and don't forget to share with your friend.